In 1717, off the coast of Cape Cod, the richest pirate ship in history smashed into the rocks and disappeared beneath the waves. For over 260 years, its treasure was lost, until modern explorers uncovered the only verified pirate shipwreck ever found. But what they discovered wasn't just gold and weapons. It was proof that pirates lived by rules far more democratic and far more surprising than the legends ever told. This is the story of the Whydah and her captain, Black Sam Bellamy, the pirate who loved, who dreamed, and who died chasing both. Our story begins in 1715, when the Whydah wasn't a pirate ship at all. Built in London, she was designed for the brutal transatlantic slave trade. Fast, powerful and armed, the Whydah carried human cargo across the ocean, but her fate changed forever in February 1717. When one of history's most notorious pirates, Samuel Bellamy, or Black Sam, seized her during a daring raid. Bellamy wasn't your typical pirate. He didn't wear an eye patch or a parrot. He wore his long black hair tied with ribbons, and he believed in something shocking for the time: equality among his men. He believed in something shocking for the time: equality among his men. Before he was feared across the Atlantic, Samuel Bellamy was just a poor sailor from Devon, England. Born in 1689, he grew up on the rugged Cornish coast, where stories of treasure ships and seafaring adventure filled every tavern. As a young man, he sailed to the New World. Some say it was for fortune, others say it was for love. According to legend, Bellamy fell for a woman in Massachusetts named Maria Hallett, but her wealthy family forbade the match. Bellamy had nothing, no land, no name, no riches, so he made a promise. He would return with enough gold to win her hand. That vow would drive him into the world of piracy. Bellamy rose quickly in the world of piracy. He stood out not for cruelty, but for fairness. Tall, strong and commanding, he ruled with reason instead of fear. He wore simple black coats instead of gaudy clothes, which earned him the name Black Sam. His men adored him because he treated them as equals. He allowed votes on key decisions. Treasure was divided fairly. On his ship there was no noble class, no tyrant at the top. To many abused sailors, Bellamy wasn't just a pirate, he was freedom itself. Historians say he once declared, "I scorn to do anyone a mischief when it is not for my advantage, but I would rather fight 100 honest men than a single coward." This philosophy made him not only respected, but feared. In just 1 year, Bellamy captured over 50 ships. His greatest prize came when he seized the Whydah, transforming a slave ship into his flagship. By April 1717, he was one of the richest pirates alive, commanding nearly 150 men and carrying unimaginable treasure. But his heart? Some say it was still in New England, with the woman he swore to return to. And it was on his way back to her that everything fell apart. April the 26th, 1717. Off Cape Cod, a brutal nor'easter struck. Wind screamed at 70 miles an hour. Waves towered above the decks. The Whydah, heavy with plunder, fought to stay afloat. But near midnight she slammed into a sandbar. Her massive hull broke apart in the surf. Treasure spilled into the sea. Over 140 men drowned, including Bellamy himself. Only 2 survivors lived to tell the tale. And with that, the richest pirate ship in history vanished beneath the waves. For centuries, the Whydah was thought to be just another pirate legend. Treasure hunters searched, but the ocean kept her secret. Then, in 1984, marine explorer Barry Clifford made a discovery that changed history. Shipwreck remains buried off Cape Cod. What he found stunned the world. The Whydah was real. The first and only verified pirate shipwreck. More than 200,000 artifacts were recovered: gold coins, pistols, swords, jewelry, belt buckles, even clothing. Each artifact was a time capsule of pirate life. They showed us that these men weren't the savage monsters of Hollywood. They were sailors who built their own society with rules, discipline and surprising fairness. And in 2018, divers recovered bones from the wreck. DNA confirmed they belonged to Bellamy's crew. Some believe Black Sam himself may still lie beneath the sand. The Whydah's recovery also revealed something greater than treasure: the truth about pirate democracy. On Bellamy's ship, captains were elected. Loot was divided equally. Sailors of every race and background, European, African, indigenous, stood as equals, at least on deck. For men abused by empires, piracy wasn't just crime, it was rebellion. It was freedom on their own terms. But for Bellamy, freedom wasn't enough. He was sailing home, legend says, to reunite with Maria Hallett. When news of the wreck reached her, she was devastated. Some say she never recovered. Known in local folklore as the Witch of Wellfleet, a woman cursed by loss, wandering the shores for the pirate who never returned. Fact or legend, her story lingers like the whisper of waves against the rocks. Samuel Bellamy was just 28 when he died. In barely a year, he rose from obscurity to become the richest pirate of the Golden Age. The Wider's discovery doesn't just tell us about treasure, it gives us fragments of Bellamy's humanity. A man who believed in fairness, a man who defied empire, a man who loved and lost everything to the sea. Today, the Wider's artifacts sit in museums, shining reminders of that brief moment when a poor sailor dared to dream of riches, freedom and love. And if you ever walk the sands of Cape Cod, remember, somewhere beneath your feet lies the kingdom of the Pirate King.
What if I told you that in the sands of the Sahara lies one of humanity's greatest treasures, a treasure not of gold or diamonds, but of wisdom? Centuries ago, in the fabled city of Timbuktu, scholars gathered knowledge so vast and so powerful that when Europe was still crawling out of the Dark Ages, Africa was writing about medicine, astronomy, law, and even the stars beyond our world. But here's the twist. When invaders came to burn it all down, the people of Timbuktu did something unthinkable. They hid it. For hundreds of years, this treasure stayed buried in trunks, caves, and desert huts, waiting for the world to rediscover it. Today, we're going to uncover the forgotten story of Timbuktu's hidden libraries, the secret legacy of Africa's golden age. To understand the miracle of Timbuktu's manuscripts, we need to travel back to the 15th and 16th centuries. Timbuktu wasn't just some desert outpost, it was the beating heart of West Africa, a city fueled by trade. Salt, gold, ivory flowed through its markets. But what made Timbuktu truly legendary wasn't wealth, it was knowledge. At its peak, the city had 25,000 students flocking to its universities. Imagine that, a place where knowledge was valued as much as gold. Here, scholars copied books by hand, works of Greek philosophy, Islamic science, African medicine, astronomy charts, even mathematics centuries ahead of Europe. But with knowledge came danger. Invaders saw Timbuktu's wealth, and they wanted it. In 1591, Moroccan forces swept across the desert armed with guns and steel. Timbuktu's golden age collapsed. Scholars were killed, enslaved, or exiled. And here's the question, what happened to the books? Because if you erase the books, you erase the memory of a civilization. The answer is extraordinary. Families of Timbuktu risked everything to save their libraries. They hid manuscripts in caves, buried them under sand, and passed them down in secret for centuries. These weren't ordinary books. Some were over 700 years old, written in Arabic, Fulani, Songhai, and other languages. Inside, cures for diseases using desert herbs, treatises on astronomy charting the movement of planets, legal codes that rivaled European law, philosophical debates about God, morality, and the universe. One manuscript even contains detailed knowledge of surgery and anatomy, long before modern medicine. Think about it. When people say Africa had no written history, Timbuktu's libraries prove them wrong. But here's where the story gets wild. In the 20th century, as Mali struggled with poverty and political turmoil, many believed these manuscripts were gone forever, looted, destroyed, lost. Until the families who had kept them secret for centuries began bringing them out. Trunks upon trunks filled with fragile manuscripts appearing in courtyards and mud brick homes. Scholars realized Timbuktu's hidden libraries were not just legends, they were real. Today, tens of thousands of manuscripts have been recovered. But here's the open wound. thousands more remain hidden, vulnerable to war, neglect, and the desert itself. During the 2012 Mali conflict, jihadist fighters threatened to destroy the manuscripts, but locals once again risked everything. Smuggling thousands of books out of Timbuktu in rice sacks, donkeys, and canoes, moving them secretly by night. One historian called it the greatest rescue mission for knowledge in modern history. And yet, the story is not over, because even now many manuscripts are unread, untranslated, untouched. Each page could hold secrets about medicine, mathematics, philosophy, that the world has forgotten. So next time someone tells you Africa has no written history, remember Timbuktu, a city where knowledge was wealth, where books were treasure, and where families protected wisdom with their lives. The hidden libraries of Timbuktu are not just relics of the past, they are a reminder of what we lose when we let ignorance, war, and greed destroy knowledge. And here's the haunting question: if this is what survived, what wisdom did we lose forever? This has been Untapped Pod Stories. If you enjoyed this journey into forgotten history, make sure to like, subscribe, and share, because the past is not dead, it's just waiting to be uncovered.
And not a single soul on board. No signs of struggle, no lifeboats missing. Just silence. This is the story of the Mary Celeste, a ship that appeared perfectly alive, but was chillingly empty, and whose mystery still haunts the seas. On December 4th, 1872, the British brigantine DEI Gracia spotted a ship drifting aimlessly in the Atlantic Ocean, halfway between the Azores and Portugal. Its sails fluttered, its wheels swung loose. The ship was the Mary Celeste, an American merchant vessel. Her destination, Genoa, Italy. But something was horribly wrong. The boarding crew found no captain, no crew, and no signs of life. The cargo of 1,700 barrels of alcohol? Untouched. The crew's belongings? Still there. The only thing missing? The people. To understand the mystery, we must go back. The Mary Celeste set sail from New York Harbor on November 7, 1872, commanded by Captain Benjamin Briggs. Alongside him were his wife Sarah, their young daughter Sophia, and 7 experienced crewmen. They were seasoned sailors with everything to live for. The ship was seaworthy, the weather favorable. Yet within a month, they would vanish into legend. What could cause an entire crew to vanish, leaving everything behind? Over the years, theories have swirled like the ocean itself. But nothing was stolen. Valuables, cargo, even food remained untouched. But no evidence of struggle, no blood, no chaos. Some claimed a monstrous sea creature dragged them away. More legend than fact, but chilling to imagine. A sudden waterspout or freak wave forcing evacuation, but the ship was perfectly intact. The cargo, barrels of industrial alcohol. If fumes escaped, Captain Briggs may have ordered evacuation, but the lifeboat was never found. The Mary Celeste was towed to Gibraltar, investigated, and eventually auctioned off. But the stain of her legend never left. Sailors refused to sail on her, claiming she was cursed. She changed hands, passed from one unlucky captain to the next, until she finally wrecked off Haiti in 1885. The mystery remained unsolved, and still, she drifts in the minds of all who hear her story. To this day, no one knows what truly happened aboard the Mary Celeste. Was it panic, tragedy, or something far darker? One thing is certain, the ocean keeps its secrets, and sometimes it whispers them through ghost ships that drift silently, forever searching for their lost crew. If you love mysteries, subscribe to Untapped Pod Stories, where history's darkest secrets come alive.
What if I told you an entire ancient city lies buried beneath the endless sands, hidden for centuries, untouched by modern civilization, a place so vast, so mysterious, it could rewrite everything we thought we knew about human history. Today we journey into the secrets of the forgotten city beneath the desert. What they found would leave them questioning history itself. For thousands of years, humans have wandered deserts in search of survival. Yet beneath these scorching sands, entire civilizations may have risen and vanished without a trace. But what if the desert isn't empty? What if it's hiding the ruins of a city that predates recorded history? Historians have speculated about lost cities from Atlantis to Pharaohs, yet very few imagined a city swallowed entirely by sand. Patterns in the earth suggested streets, blocks, walls, geometric shapes that didn't belong to nature. Could the desert really be hiding a city? Many said it was a mirage, a trick of the shifting sands. The first expedition was met with skepticism. But when the team reached the coordinates, the desert floor had secrets to reveal. From the sky, satellite scans showed unnatural geometric shapes, lines that suggested streets, blocks, and walls. They uncovered massive stone foundations, streets laid in grids, structures precise enough to rival modern engineering. This wasn't a simple settlement, this was a metropolis, perfectly preserved beneath layers of sand. Artifacts unlike anything seen before, golden tools, ceramics with unknown marks began to surface. As the sand was cleared, outlines of a city emerged, massive foundations, precise masonry, structures preserved in the vault of sand, colossal statues, walls engraved with patterns, so precise they challenged our ideas of ancient craftsmanship, ceramics with unknown inscriptions, tools of gold, objects that did not match any known culture. And then, deeper still, structures so large they suggested a society with engineering beyond what we expected for the era. Some symbols matched nothing known, an alphabet of mystery that pushed experts to the edge of their understanding. This was not random, it was a planned metropolis. Markets, thoroughfares, monuments, frozen beneath the sand. Some inscriptions bore symbols that matched no known language. Could this be evidence of an entirely lost civilization? Then came the strangest discovery. Underground tunnels stretching miles, lined with carvings that hinted at secrecy and purpose. Carvings suggested rituals, guardians, knowledge encoded in stone, a civilization obsessed with hiding something. Experts debated causes, catastrophic climate shifts, invasion, or something more inexplicable. The city swallowed as if nature demanded erasure. Locals whisper of desert spirits. Others tell of a cataclysm too terrible to survive. More controversial theories suggest deliberate erasure, knowledge so advanced it frightened those who possessed it. Imagine walking through corridors untouched for millennia, each footprint echoing in eternity. Every artifact, every wall, every shadow is a message from people who disappeared without a name. Some believe this city could change everything we know about human history, challenging where civilization truly began. Standing here, you feel both small and awed, a reminder that history is never fully written. And somewhere beneath the dunes, a city waits, silent, holding secrets we may never fully understand. The earth keeps its stories close, but every uncovering brings us closer to the truth, if we are brave enough to look. So next time you gaze across endless sand, remember, what you see may be only the tip of a forgotten world. Subscribe for more journeys into history's hidden places.